Alright, ladies and gentlemen, this is Brian again. We're going to be going to update to the Signals Group services. Let's see. We're going to be covering the news trading primarily right now. I'm going to go over results from last month and how we're fixing the problem. So basically, last month we had varied results, and I mean varied as in I made 550, one person made 600, and then we went down. That sounds good and all, but please focus in on this part. Then it just went downhill from there. We had people making zero money, and we had people making way, way less, like barely breaking even. It was just the entire spectrum of ranges. What it came down to after reviewing charts that people sent me was people's spreads. Worst case scenario, we had a guy on a trade getting a 38.8 pip spread on a trade when I had a max on that trade of 3 pips. It wasn't anything special, it was just a normal US CAD news trade, and they spiked out to 38 pips. They actually lost $5, lost 5 pips. Sorry. So they lost 5 pips when I made 38 pips. And it was because of the spread on their broker. For that type of issue, there's nothing we can do. What we are going to do, and unfortunately involves getting away from a 100% totally automated system, but it will allow me to make sure that you're profitable in your news trades, is we're going to switch over to a slightly different kind of not system, it's still the same system, but there's actually going to be a little bit of legwork involved on your end. So let's run through how a news trade would go for the day. The first thing you'd have to do is each day, just check this. It's going to show you news trades. You're going to pick up your news trade, and you're going to open up those charts. Now, what do you have to open? So let's say here's a CAD trade. You'd have to go to US CAD, and you would want nothing else open. So you start off each day with just your receiver open. Then you would open up a US CAD chart, and you would load your template saying like Renko time, but I'll have it named R1, R2. R1 News is part 1. You open that, then you open up R2 News as your template. So R1 News is all it's going to do is it's going to give you your Renko bars. So then we're going to move to US CAD, and we would open up template for news. So Renko News. And you would get this, minus, you can have this here if you want, but minus that. So you would have this. That's what you have to do for the day. You would leave this open, and you would be done. Now, the way I'm breaking this down is, if you're already in the group, don't worry about it. We're going to get you set up right. The goal here is, and if you're not in the group, the way it's going to work is you pay for your first month, but you get 60 days. The first 30 days is going to be tweaking in your spread. The only way for me to keep you all profitable is we have to know what the spread is on your broker. Without knowing what the spread is, I can't do anything to keep you profitable. So you would set up your chart, and then the trades would happen. I'm still going to log in, or you'll still receive the pending orders from me. The straddle, all the straddle means is that you have an order above and you have an order below. And then as news comes in, I bring these in. I run inlines on it, which is an indicator that shows me the number of pips it's selected. Now, the straddle per trade varies. So let's say on a medium impact, I might do a 5 pip straddle. So what that means is, and I'll show you just so you understand. So what I do is here's 5 pips above price, here's 5 pips below price. About 10 seconds before the news hits, I move these in. And then we wait for the trade to happen. If it doesn't happen, I delete the pending orders. Boom, gone, boom, gone. Now, if the trade does happen, it's going to open up on your end. Your end will be controlled by Argo. This here is your trailing stop. Your computer is going to control it, not mine. The problem we are having is, on mine, I would close the trade when it looks like we're a nice 30 pips in profit, but on yours, you were nowhere close to being in profit. Or some of you were in profit, and it was great, and you actually made more than I did on a trade. But again, the results were not consistent across the board. I need to be consistent that everybody profits, not some people profit. So that's going to be how news trades run. If you're still interested in being part of the group and doing it for news trades, that's just how it's going to be. It's the only way I can do it. Now, I will say, if you need assistance setting it up, I highly recommend letting me know, and I'll Skype in. I've already Skyped in for one person, so they're ready to go for tonight, tomorrow, the rest of the week. Number 2, you have to do it on a live account, but you'll be using 0.01 lots because we need to see what the actual spread is when that news hits. The second thing you'll need to do, your setup for US CAD, it's right here. You have to have this indicator running, and it's called orders indicator. Reason being is after every trade during your first 30 days, or even after that, I want you to send it to me. So if we go to market, this little indicator is going to be on all your charts, not the Renko charts, the normal charts. You can see here's those pending orders I placed. When you do take a trade, it's going to record the trade. It's going to take a snapshot of the trade. When the trade is over, I need you to right-click, save as picture, do active workspace, just like it appears right here, hit OK. You're going to get a link, and I need you to send me that link. If you're not at home, that's fine. Just go back, look up the trade, and then take a picture. So if you have to scroll back, get the picture, but I need you to send it to me so we can dial in your spread. Just because you make profit doesn't mean it's set up right. We still need to see how that trade went. So that's going to let me dial in for each trade what your spread would be. So now that we know the spread, and basically this comes down to there's low impact news, medium, high, and then there's just batshit crazy news like NFP, Yellen speaking sometimes, FOMC, Draghi, when Super Mario speaks. So what will happen then is we will develop what are called set files for you during your first month of trading. So let's say you look at the schedule, and we look at it and we see meh. Now over here's what I'm going to have is something called set. And it'll say low, medium, high, or crazy. And so you're going to have 4 different set files that you will receive during the first month. You'll get them. They're going to be for you. So I can't say right now here's your 4 set files because during the first month I need you to work with me, send me your screenshots when it's done, and we'll dial in what your set file is going to be for each trade. So let's say right now this one works right. What we're looking at now works perfect for high impact trades. It works for medium and low for me. It might not necessarily work for you because this is adjusted to my spread. And what I mean by set files is I mean the settings here are saved. So I could do save and I can call this one, say, medium. Okay, now let's say NFP is coming, so I'd load and I would have one called NFP, and it's going to adjust the settings for NFP. I know it's a little bit of work on your end, guys, but the results of good news trading are, it's quick increases in your account size. So that's why I want to have this dial-in phase. It's the only alternative I have. I can think of no other way to do this than other on an individual basis, find out what your spread is, and adjust your EA that's going to control the trade to that. Because on my end, setting the pending orders is what I'll have to do on my end. I'll have to adjust the straddle, the pending orders. I will also be monitoring the trade live, so if price spikes up and spikes down and something goes totally ape shit wrong, I will close it. But for the most part, these trades are going to control themselves. If we look back, and I had shown this, but let's see if we can find it. Let me turn off the scroll and we'll see kind of what a trade would look like. Let's see if I can find, I know there's a news trade in here. Give me a sec. Where is that little bastard? Was that it? No. Anyway, basically this line is going to control your profit and loss. So let's say this was the entry. When it comes down here, when it hits here, that's the exit. So you get the profit from here to here. Your computer has to be able to control it. I can't control it from my end because, again, like I said, on a 38 pip profit, a 20 pip profit, I'm getting such degrees of variation that I cannot control it on my end. It's screwing some people. It's good for some people, bad for some people. So if you're interested and you want to get set up, please hit me up in the next day or two because Friday's NFP. We want to start getting you dialed in. This is the beginning of the month. It's the perfect time. Let's get you dialed in so that all it is then on out, you look at the schedule, open up the charts you need, you close any charts you do not need, and this is a big one. You have nothing else running. Only the EAs that I give you are running. You cannot have your charts open with your EAs on it, your setups on it. That will close the trade. That's one of the problems we had this month too. And that's partially my fault because I did not make it clear. If you have an EA running on US CAD and then you have the news set up on US CAD, your EA can take control of it and shut a trade prematurely. We had that happen several times for people, not just on news trades, but on normal trades where I made 12 pips and they made 2 pips because their EAs they had running on the charts conflicted with what I was doing. So let's sum it up. This is no longer going to be fully automated. There'll be a dial-in period per each person. After every trade, when you get the time for that day, you'll need to take a screenshot of the trade here on the 1-minute chart with the orders indicator running. Now, where do you get the orders indicator from? You'll go up here to where it says terminal or Control T. You will click it. You will go to the marketplace. You will go to indicators. You will switch to free. You'll type in the word orders, and it's here. You'll click it, and there'll be a download button right here. If it's not there, you'll need to register. It's a free register with MQL to get registered. Then you get a download button. You make sure that the P and the $ are clicked, and you just have it sitting there. It will record the trade for me so that I can review it and see if we need to adjust your spread. Not your spread. It will show your spread because if there's a 10 pip spread, let's say there's a 10 pip spread, and I enter on this candle, it'll show your entry way up here so that I can measure. I can kind of guess what your spread's going to be. If I need be, I'll tell you go back to it and take the mouse and click up to here. But I need to see the chart, and then from there I'll get with you, and we will fine-tune your spread so that you can be profitable on these news trades. News trades are some of the easiest trades in the world if you know how to do them right, and you can make some nice quick profits on it. First month, until you feel 100% confident, though, you'll be trading at 0.01 lots on a live account so we get the real spread. That then sums it up, guys. If you don't have me on Skype, because I know quite a few people in the Signals group don't, I will leave my contact information in the description on this video so you can get in touch with me so that we can get you set up. Again, I do need to see, before this works, the biggest thing we need is to make sure Argo Trail is working properly. I've had a few people who it's not working for. Argo Trail has to work or you will not make money. You'll just get a spike up, spike down, and you'll lose a tiny bit of money on every single trade if Argo Trail isn't working correctly. So look in the description if you need to get in touch with me. If you're already in the group, great. Don't worry about it. If you're not in the group, the email address is there if you want to get with me to get in the group. Thanks a lot, all. You have a great day, and I'll get this posted up for you. And again, please, if you see this, get with me as soon as possible. Friday is NFP, so we can get you set up and get you start dialing in. All right, have a good one.